Hi everyone, I'm Fred Pullen on the Microsoft Edge team. With me is Brian Altman. We're both IT pros, like many of you. If my name sounds familiar or if you've seen me present before, it's probably because I spent 5 or 6 years on the marketing side of Microsoft Edge, and before that, Internet Explorer. I introduced Enterprise Mode in, I think it was April 2014, and I helped deprecate support for IE 8, 9, and 10 on Windows 7 a few months later. So I'm excited now because the team reached out to me after having been gone about a year. They reached out to me to offer me a role on the engineering side, working with enterprise customers like yourself, and really having, you can have a huge impact on Microsoft and on our products in terms of how we support the products, the manageability features, really a focus on enterprises as our number one customer. So we really appreciate your feedback. We really appreciate that you're here. We have a lot to cover in the next hour. Now, unfortunately, because it's a relatively large room, we'll take questions at the end, but I promise you we'll answer most of your questions throughout the presentation. And we will be happy to stay after and answer any additional questions, but we'll take questions towards the end. Microsoft Edge has a pretty big presence here at Microsoft Ignite. This slide is up for reference. You can download it from the site, but I also wanted to make you aware of a couple of sessions. We have a theater session on the expo floor tomorrow, West Building Theater on working smarter with Microsoft Edge. We also have open office hours. I wanted to bring everyone's attention to that because we will have a bunch of marketing and engineering folks in a room able to answer any questions that you have if you want to come and talk with us one-on-one. If you have a problem with a specific application, please feel free to come by and we can do some real-time troubleshooting with you. So we're happy to do that. That is Thursday, 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the Hyatt Regency, Level 3, Discovery 46, so room Discovery 46. And there are some other sessions on Microsoft Edge. If you don't have time to go to these sessions in person this week, no problem. These will be recorded for you as well. And if you somehow missed that or just want the content, please feel free to reach out to us. We want to make sure that we can get this content to you. So in the next hour plus, we're going to be talking about managing Microsoft Edge. We'll talk about Enterprise Mode compatibility, Microsoft Edge Kiosk Mode. I'll go into some detail on Windows Defender Application Guard, which is a lightweight virtualization layer for the browser. Then we'll talk about some tips and tricks and some troubleshooting techniques that I've found useful. We'll have time, hopefully, for some Q&A, and then we'll close. Before I get started talking about managing Microsoft Edge, I know that many of you have questions about Internet Explorer 11, so I'll just get this right off the table. Internet Explorer 11 is still considered a component of the operating system, so it follows the life cycle, the support life cycle of its parent product. Now, some of you are wondering, why don't we just kill Internet Explorer? Why don't we make it go away? Here's the answer. How many of you still work with organizations that have a dependency on Internet Explorer? Okay, I probably should have asked it the other way around. How many of you don't have a dependency on Internet Explorer? 4 hands, 5 hands? Yeah, that's why we can't make this thing go away. But we can limit how and when you use it. And I also wanted to introduce Internet Explorer in the context of managing Microsoft Edge because managing Edge is immensely easier than managing Internet Explorer for a couple of reasons. One is that it's a modern browser. You don't need as many of those policies that really refer to older technologies. Because it's running within App Container, for example, you don't have to worry about trying to run Internet Explorer 11 in enhanced protected mode, which might turn on App Container, but it may break some things. But the second reason I think is more important, and that's if you look back to the 20-plus year history of Internet Explorer, 20-some years ago, we really didn't have the web standards we have today. We didn't have HTML5. We didn't have CSS3. We didn't have WebGL, and so on and so forth. So customers were looking for functionality that they could use in the browser to light up web applications, to give web applications the power of the PC. So we enabled technologies like ActiveX controls, Silverlight, Java. You know, there's lots of technologies out there that were designed to give web applications a lot of power. But there's always a trade-off between functionality and risk. With that functionality came commensurate risk. So we had to give you controls about how and when you were able to run ActiveX controls, for example. My favorite example there is unsigned ActiveX controls. In your organization, you might have developed some ActiveX controls over the years. They might not be signed, but you still want to be able to run them for certain sites. And so we have a policy, not just one policy, but multiple policies that say, I would like to be able to run unsigned ActiveX controls in the trusted sites zone or in the intranet zone, but not in the internet zone. And we have not just those policies, but we also have those mirror policies on the computer side and on the user side. So Internet Explorer has 1,500 or so group policies, but they're not unique group policies. You may have one policy that's instantiated 8 or 10 or 12 times because it has to be on the computer side and the user side, trusted site, intranet site, internet site, restricted site, lots of different variations of the same policy. The good news is for Microsoft Edge, as I said before, doesn't have to worry about that. We don't support those older web technologies. We recognize that many of you still have dependencies on Internet Explorer 11, which is why we continue to support it and follow the support lifecycle of the operating system. But there are ways that you can minimize how and when Internet Explorer 11 is instantiated and focus on Microsoft Edge as your safer, faster browser. Because you can run in Microsoft Edge and then fall back to IE11 just for the sites that you've approved. And so those are some of the knobs that we'll be showing you, some of the controls and policies that we'll be showing you. It's how you can minimize Internet Explorer and really focus on Microsoft Edge. But that's also why we have a relatively small number, relatively speaking, of group policies available for Microsoft Edge today. And we've taken some time to divide these into categories, and we're highlighting here in red the group policies that are introduced with the Windows 10 October update, what we call internally RS5. So these are some new policies that you can use to fine-tune how the browser works in your environment. And these slides are available for download. So you can take pictures, you're welcome to, but you can also just download the slides. I'm not going to spend a tremendous amount of time on the slides. We wanted to make sure that we had all of this available for you as a reference, but I want to spend more time in demos. So I'm going to be going through the slides relatively quickly so that we can have time to do more in the demos. But some exciting ones here. Allowing or denying printing, allowing saving history. These are some new policies. And by the way, I should mention all of this, you can go directly to the documentation by going to aka.ms/edge policies. This will take you directly to the Edge documentation. We also have a number of policies associated with books, allowing a shared books folder, books library, books tab. A lot of EDU customers have asked us for this functionality, so we wanted to make sure that we made it available and made it manageable. Search engine customization, setting your default search. We've had some of these policies since the last release or release before that. And allowing developer tools. Preventing access to the About Flags page is something I'll show a little bit later in the enterprise mode demo, because you can disable enterprise mode in the About Flags page, and I'll show you that. Extension management. Many of you have asked us for more granular management of extensions within Microsoft Edge. So now we don't just have the allow extensions or deny extensions. We also have allowing sideloading of extensions or preventing the sideloading of extensions. We also have prevent turning off required extensions. What we basically do there is we ask you to list the extensions which you've sideloaded or which you've preloaded onto Microsoft Edge, and users can't uninstall those extensions. So if you have a particular extension that's part of your reference desktop and you want it to be part of your standard, you can make sure that users can't uninstall those extensions. All right, and then flash management. There's a subtle point here that I really want to land, and that's that the entire ecosystem is working towards deprecating support for Flash by the end of 2020. And I wanted to make sure you heard that because I talked to a lot of customers who are still creating Flash content today. And they expect to be able to run that Flash content after 2020. Adobe is working with the entire ecosystem. They're working with Google, they're working with Mozilla, they're working with Microsoft, with other browser manufacturers, browser developers, to make sure that Flash doesn't run after 2020. So if this is a concern for you, you might want to start raising a flag now within your organization or to the ecosystem, because the plan right now is to keep limiting how and when Flash is instantiated, and ultimately by the end of 2020 to deprecate support for it completely. Internet Explorer integration. Today, you can configure Microsoft Edge as your default browser and fall back to Internet Explorer 11 for the sites that you've approved. I'll show you how that works, and we'll look at the policies. There's one policy that has existed, but based on customer feedback, we made a change to it in the Windows 10 October update. And the change is that we now allow you to optionally add the Keep Going in Microsoft Edge link. That link went away in RS3 in the fall update of last year. So you now can have an interstitial page, and I'll show you what this looks like. But you can have a page of text that warns users you're now falling back to a less secure browser, you're now falling back to Internet Explorer 11, but you can enable the option for them to keep going in Microsoft Edge. This could be useful for developers. In the specific scenario that this customer had, there was one customer in particular that ran into some problems here. The scenario that they lit up was they turned on the interstitial page for their developers, and they wanted the Keep Going link in case the developer wanted to test their application within Microsoft Edge. So I'll show you that functionality in a minute. Pre-launch and preload. This is also a new feature in the Windows 10 October update of being able to pre-launch or preload Microsoft Edge. This also solves some problems that some customers have had with loading the enterprise mode site list. So making sure that the enterprise mode site list is already up and running and has pulled down the latest version before the user even pulls up the browser. And then preventing certificate error overrides. You may remember there's a way if you do the drop down, you can get to, I don't care about the certificate error, show me this site. And obviously many of your users, you may not want to grant that privilege. So you may want to prevent those users from bypassing certificate errors and just stop them right there. So we now give you that ability as well. Kiosk mode is something that Brian's going to be talking about a little bit later. We now have 4 different kiosk modes, and it's pretty exciting. So we now have a variety. I won't steal his thunder, but we have a variety of ways that you can run Microsoft Edge in kiosk and for a variety of scenarios. Syncing browser settings is something we've had for a while. I should mention on the telemetry and data collection side, we now have a policy to prevent or allow configuring collection of browsing data for Microsoft 365 Analytics. It's not in the dashboard yet. So Microsoft 365 Analytics doesn't have the Microsoft Edge data in the dashboard. They don't have to ship updates to Windows cadence. So they don't need to wait for the spring. They don't need to wait for the fall updates. They can ship an update, whenever it's available. So we're working with that team now to make sure that this data is available in the dashboard, and that'll be coming in hopefully in the next few months. All right, start pages and home button. This is something you've asked us for a long time, is more granular control about how your users start up the browser, what pages they see when they start the browser, what page they see when they click the home button, and this is very important, whether or not the user can override that themselves. In other words, you can lock it down so the user has no control over what their home page is, or you can allow them to override that and be able to change their home page or change their start pages if they wish to. All right, we're not going to be going into a lot of detail on managing Microsoft Edge with SCCM and Intune, but the whole idea here is whatever tools you use today to manage your browser, you should be able to continue to use with Microsoft Edge. We work very closely with the Intune team and the SCCM team to make sure that you don't just have reg keys that you push out, or the raw policies, but we want to make sure that you have a more friendly user interface. So in this case, there's a create Microsoft Edge browser policy, essentially a wizard that will walk you through the policies that are available and make sure that you can make the right choices for your organization in creating a GPO. Likewise, in Intune, we have custom UI for Intune so that it's a little bit easier to create some of these policies. Now, I always encourage you to go back to the original documentation if you have any questions about what a particular setting might mean in your organization, or what a particular setting. And obviously, you want to test these. You want to test these before you deploy. All right, let's switch over to my other machine. And I always like to explain my demo environment. There are no smoke and mirrors here. This is running a Windows 10 October update build. And it's just a Surface laptop, which I love, by the way. I've been using a Surface Book for almost 3 years. I think my Surface laptop is going to be my next machine. But let's look at some management policies here. I'm going to pull up GPEdit. All right, and if I dive down into administrative templates, Windows components, Microsoft Edge, you'll see we have more policies now. We don't want to get, by intent, we see no reason why we need to get to the 1,500 group policies that we had in Internet Explorer. But we do want to bring policies into Microsoft Edge that make sense for you. So if there is a policy that's missing, please do let us know. If there are policies that are preventing your deployment or blocking something, absolutely let us know, because we want to prioritize getting those into the product. And with this latest update, we added how many policies? 19 new policies. And that was based entirely on customer feedback. So if you have feedback about other policies that are still missing, please do let us know. This is a work in progress, in other words. But I wanted to get across just a couple of things here. One is there's the home page. So if I scroll down a little bit, you'll see I can set the home button URL. I also can configure the home button. And this is a little bit confusing, so I wanted to call it out. Configuring the home button means I have a choice. If I choose to enable this, you'll see I have drop-downs here. I can show the home button and set it to the start page. I can show the home button and set it to the new tab page. I can show the home button and set a specific page. Now, how I set the specific page is with the set home button URL policy. The reason we had to separate these out is we want to have parity between group policy and MDM policy. So part of the design of the group policy is influenced by what we need to do on the MDM side to make sure this works properly. So we do have a policy for configuring whether or not the users see the home button and what that home button does, and we have a separate policy for if you want to set it to a custom page, you absolutely have the ability to do that. Now the good news is, for all of these policies, is if I pull up, and I'm going to bring up Microsoft Edge here. If I pull up the documentation here, you'll see that there's the usual TechNet documentation, and we've done, I have to say, our content publication team has done an amazing job. Patty's done a great job of updating this documentation and explaining, whether it's what the MDM policy is, what the registry setting is, what the description is. But we also wanted to make it even easier for you. So we worked really hard on being able to give you more prescriptive guidance on Microsoft Edge policies depending on what you want to do. So for example, if I go into the home button settings that I was just describing, we've created some simple guidance here to say, if you want to show the home button and load a start page or new tab page, here are the policies that you need to hit. Here are the steps that you need to take. And then if you scroll down, if you want to load a custom URL, here's the policy you need to set, here are the steps you need to take. So we want to make it as easy as possible for you to configure these group policies and understand what behavior the browser will take depending on the policies that you've chosen to enable. If you have feedback on not only our policies, but on our documentation, please feel free to reach out. I think there's feedback mechanisms on this page itself. So please reach out and let us know if you have feedback. If you think of how we might show this in an easier way, we're absolutely open to that feedback. All right, let's switch back over to my slides. And by the way, the demos get only more technical from here. So I promise you we're going to get into Process Explorer and some other things a little bit later. Let's talk about enterprise mode compatibility. When we released Microsoft Edge, some of you may remember the code name of Microsoft Edge was Spartan. And we tested very, very early on whether or not we could include the IE11 engine in Spartan. And what we found, and this is all public, what we found was, based on your feedback, you told us this wasn't going to work for you because we weren't able to instantiate ActiveX controls in a modern browser, in App Container. So we had to draw the line. And many of you told us, don't even bother to include the Trident engine, the Internet Explorer engine in Microsoft Edge if it's not compatible with browser helper objects, if it's not compatible with ActiveX controls, with toolbars. It's not even worth my time to test if all you're doing is bringing me support for document modes. So as a strategy, we decided to make sure that Internet Explorer 11 would be consistent across Windows 7, Windows 8.1, and Windows 10 to help you upgrade, to help ease your upgrade. If you got to IE11 on Windows 7, you essentially had done a piece of your Windows 10 migration ahead of time. Well, now we have a dual browser experience. So this dual browser experience means you can set Microsoft Edge as your default browser, fall back to Internet Explorer for the sites that need it, and then switch right back to Internet Explorer for any sites that are not approved. And I'll show you this in demo in just a moment. Our guidance to customers for a few years has been upgrading to modern standards is the best possible long-term strategy, but you can upgrade on your own timetable. And unfortunately, this guidance was translated, I think, by a lot of application owners as, great, I never need to upgrade my IE11 applications. That's why all of us still have dependencies on Internet Explorer. But we are doing more work to make sure that it's easier to manage, that it's easier to integrate, and we are looking at how we can make this an easier experience for everyone. So some policies that you can use to manage this, and many of you may be doing this today, but allowing the Microsoft compatibility list, this is the public-facing list of sites that still require Internet Explorer 11. There are a few. It's down to less than 1,500, I think. But there are some sites in South Korea, for example. For years, their public key infrastructure was based on ActiveX controls. So there are still a lot of sites in South Korea that require Internet Explorer 11 if you want to do commerce, if you want to order something from a retailer that still uses the ActiveX control. Thankfully, this list is getting smaller and smaller over time. If you want, you could disable this compatibility view list, but in some geographies, it's still needed. Brazil has some sites, South Korea has some sites. It really depends on your needs. But you can further limit how and when Internet Explorer gets instantiated by essentially disabling this public compatibility view list. Not recommended today because there are still some sites out there that require it, but I think over time we can get to a point where we could disable it. Configuring the enterprise mode site list. Now, as a best practice, we suggest pointing Microsoft Edge and Internet Explorer 11 to the same list. Otherwise, you run the risk of getting out of sync. Also, as a best practice, we recommend sharing the list, the enterprise mode site list, as a web file, as HTTP or HTTPS. You can share it via DFS, but here's the trade-off. If you're sharing it via a file server, you have to pull down the entire enterprise mode site list before the browser can do a version check. If you're sharing it on a web server, it only pulls down the header before it can do a version check. So it's much more efficient use of your network resources if you can share that out as HTTP or HTTPS, maybe on an extranet site that users can reach outside your organization. Send all intranet sites to Internet Explorer 11. This is a Microsoft Edge policy that basically, this is the big hammer that says, look, I know my intranet works in IE11. I want to use Edge, but we're not quite there yet. I don't want to test all my applications. I want to send everything on my intranet to IE11 by default. Now, there are many customers I talk to who started with this stance 3 years ago. They're now at a point where they have the sites that require IE11 added to their enterprise mode site list, and they just fall back to IE11 for those sites. So in other words, they've gone from the big hammer of sending everything over to IE11 to disabling this intranet, send all intranet sites, and only sending the intranet sites that actually need IE11. So they've switched their default browser for intranet, in other words. Show message when opening sites in Internet Explorer. I talked about that one a little earlier, and I'll show it in a moment. And then send all sites not included in the enterprise mode site list to Microsoft Edge. This is the round trip. So this is the IE11 policy that limits IE11 just to those sites that are on your enterprise mode site list. All right, so let's dive into the next demo. So a few things here. One is I want to be able to show you the configure the enterprise mode site list. In this case, I'm pointing it to my local host. I have a site list that's provided locally by IIS. And I've pointed Internet Explorer to the same exact list. So I can now run Microsoft Edge, and I know that it's going to fall back to IE11 for those sites. For example, if I go back to Microsoft Edge here, I can pull up my purchase order site, and it opens up seamlessly in Internet Explorer 11 in enterprise mode, in that backward compatibility mode. By the way, if you want more details on how to configure enterprise mode in IE11, which is a slightly separate topic, we do have a session from, I think, last year's Ignite or the Ignite before that. If you look for the content and can't find it, ping me. I know it's still available on YouTube and some other places. But it'll talk to you about how you actually configure the enterprise mode site list for IE11 specifically, which document mode to use, and so on. This is more focused on Microsoft Edge, this presentation. All right, but the good news here is if I've implemented this other policy, and we'll go check that for a moment, I'll bounce over to Internet Explorer. And the policy I want to look for here is, right now I'm using the enterprise mode site list, but I'm not sending all sites over to, let's see, here it is right here. Send all sites not included in the enterprise mode site list to Microsoft Edge. I want to enable that one. And I should be able to just do a quick GP update force. Let's go ahead and quit IE11 while that happens. OK, it's already finished the computer registry, so we should be good to go. All right, let's bounce over to our PO requisition. And now if I type in any other site, it goes right back into Microsoft Edge. So this is a way that I can restrict the sites that open in Internet Explorer 11 just to the sites that I've approved as part of my enterprise mode site list. In other words, I make sure that my users are only using IE11 for the sites that require IE11. They can't use it for any public-facing sites. They can't use it for anything else. Essentially, this is least privilege browsing, because we want to make sure that users are in a much more secure browser by default, and they're only using Internet Explorer 11, 32-bit, outside of App Container, much less secure than Microsoft Edge, only for those sites that you've chosen to approve. All right, just a couple other things I wanted to show you here, and that's if I go into About Compat, this is a very useful page. I'm going to disable the Microsoft compatibility list here, and it'll just show me the enterprise mode site list. In this case, I only have one entry, but this will show me the version number of the enterprise mode site list. I also can force an update and see if there's a problem with the enterprise mode site list itself. So this will tell me what sites are on the enterprise mode site list, what needs to open in Internet Explorer 11 versus opening in Edge, say. And I also, if I ever have a problem troubleshooting the enterprise mode site list from within Microsoft Edge, you should be able to just pull it up directly. So if I type in localhost / sitelist.xml, anybody see where this is going? All right, it opened up an Internet Explorer there's a way I can disable that. Right now it's opening everything in localhost in Internet Explorer because that's what I've told it to do. But I can disable it temporarily for the sake of this demo by going to About Flags and disabling the enterprise mode site list. Now, this is another tool that developers can use to disable the enterprise mode site list temporarily, but it does remember the setting over sessions. So sometimes if you enable this, and there is a policy to prevent access for About Flags, if you choose to allow your users to get into this, they could potentially step on something. And it is consistent across sessions. So now if I close the browser and reopen it, I'm still not using my enterprise mode site list. But the good news is I should be able to, if it worked properly, I should be able to say localhost/sitelist.xml, and it opens within Microsoft Edge. So I've disabled enterprise mode site list temporarily. Now the last thing I wanted to show you before we need to move on is if I go into policies again, and I'm going into my Microsoft Edge policies, remember I mentioned there's a new policy for being able to show messages when opening sites in Internet Explorer. We've had this one for a while, but now we have a new option for you. And the new option is you either can hide keep going in Microsoft Edge, or you can show it. So what you could do, and I'm going to go ahead and enable that. We'll do another GP update. We'll exit. I don't think Internet Explorer matters, but I'm going to go ahead and exit Edge. And now, if I go to my localhost site, well, hang on. Maybe I didn't wait. Okay, yeah, this should work. I may have to log out and log back in. Oh, the flag set. Thank you. Real-time troubleshooting. Thank you. All right, so about flags. Remember I said users can step on themselves even if they close the browser? I totally meant to do that. All right, now let's pull it up, and we pull up PO requisition, and now we see this warning, but there's a keep going link. You have the ability to control whether or not that keep going link shows up. So again, you can disable about flags so users don't step on themselves like I did a minute ago. You also can enable or disable this link. So completely up to you. You can set this as that one customer we talked to did. You can turn this policy on just for your developers. It's a little bit of extra tax if they need to be able to test a site in Microsoft Edge, but you don't want to give them access to maybe some other places. All right, and then we should get back to the slides. All right, I'm going to turn it over here to Brian to cover Microsoft Edge kiosk mode.
Can everybody hear me? All right, excellent. All right. So I'm excited to announce with the October 2018 update, we are introducing Microsoft Edge kiosk mode that works with assigned access. So assigned access allows you to lock down a device to run a single application, or lock down your device to run multiple applications. So we've enabled 4 Microsoft Edge kiosk mode types. The first one being for digital and interactive signage. This runs Microsoft Edge in full screen and loads a standard website. You've all seen these. For example, if you've been walking around the Ignite facility, you'll see several examples of digital and interactive signage. Interactive signage you probably used when you went to the airport and checked in. That's an example of interactive signage. The second kiosk mode type is for public browsing kiosks. This runs, I'm going to do this real fast.
Go ahead.
So this runs Microsoft Edge in private mode to protect users' data, and has and we've modified the experience, the browsing experience, so that we actually limit access to the settings, and we remove some capabilities and features. So, for example, you won't be able to use books, extensions, and reading lists, and the user won't be able to use favorites. And this is because it's a public browsing station. So we don't want the users to customize it. So you'll notice on a single app kiosk device, there is no minimize, close, and you can't close it. So it continuously runs this application. So we enabled an in-session button and a reset after idle timeout. And when you click on the in-session button or the reset after idle timeout, it kicks in. It'll restart Microsoft Edge and will clear out the user's session data. Okay, so we can go back. Thanks. So in multiple app kiosk mode, we also have a public browsing station. This runs again Internet Explorer in private mode to protect the user's data and has a tailored experience for kiosks. Do you want to click on that one?
Yep.
Thanks. So you'll notice in this mode, you can launch Microsoft Edge, but you can't minimize or maximize it, but you can close it. And when the user closes it, that's when we close the user's, clears the user's session data. And the final one, the fourth Microsoft Edge kiosk mode type, oh, you have to go back.
Sorry.
That's all right. And you want to click on that one? So normal mode. This runs a full version of Microsoft Edge. You have access, however, there will be some features that may not work depending on how you've configured Microsoft Edge and how you've configured assigned access. The prime example here is if a user wants to install extensions or install books, they won't be able to do that if the Microsoft Store is not enabled in assigned access. All right, can you go back? Thanks. And one more. There we go. So there's a number of ways to manage Microsoft Edge in assigned access. The simplest and easiest one is to use Windows 10 settings. There's a new experience in Windows 10 settings. So if you type the Windows key, if you hit the Windows key and type kiosk, it'll launch the Windows 10 settings. And you can set up a single app kiosk device, and you can set up the full screen mode or the public browsing. There are, on Thursday, there's another breakout session at 2:15 around shared devices and kiosks. There you can learn more about how to manage Microsoft Edge kiosk mode and via Intune, and you'll also get a demo of the Windows 10 settings UI. If you want to learn more about the Microsoft Edge kiosk mode types and you want to learn more about the deployment options, you can go to aka.ms Edge kiosk mode. Now, some of you may have heard about the Microsoft Kiosk Browser app that was released shortly after the April update. That is still available alongside Microsoft Edge kiosk mode. The main differences here is that Microsoft Edge kiosk mode supports printing, which was a major customer ask, and multi-tab browsing. So Microsoft Kiosk Browser app is available today through Microsoft Store, and again, Microsoft Edge kiosk mode will be available with the October update. All right, thank you, Fred.
Thanks, Brian. All right, so let's talk about Windows Defender Application Guard. I know there's a lot of interest in this. Here's the idea. The user sees what looks like a normal site, but it could have a browser 0-day associated with it. And as you know, it's been in the news a lot how organizations, government organizations, companies, large organizations are being compromised all the time. Now, this doesn't solve all scenarios, but by virtualizing the browser with a lightweight virtualization layer, you're essentially making sure that if there is a browser 0-day or if the user does install something that they shouldn't, that when you close that window, it goes away. So it's not persistent across time. This can help with spear phishing attacks as well. Spear phishing is if you get an email sent to you and it's a specific type of attack, they want you to click on a link and get taken to a site that may look like a normal site. It may actually be a normal site, a site that you go to regularly, but it may be compromised with a browser 0-day vulnerability or a 0-day exploit. So by virtualizing the browser, you're able to protect yourself from certain types of attacks. Not everything. You know, if you go to a site that looks like a banking site and someone enters their credentials, that's another type of protection that we want to give you through SmartScreen, to be able to prevent phishing attacks, to make sure that if a site looks like your banking site, that it actually is your banking site, and that users know the difference between the two, and that we're able to block access to that site. This is a different type of attack where there may be a vulnerability in the browser that has an active 0-day or an active attack against it. And this can help prevent that type of attack completely by making sure that if anything bad does happen, It essentially goes away when you close that out. So what we basically are doing here is virtualizing elements of Windows and elements of Microsoft Edge on top of Windows 10. You may have tried this in earlier versions. I know in the Spring Creators Update, we made some significant improvements in Windows Defender Application Guard, particularly in terms of performance. We also introduced Windows Defender Application Guard for Windows 10 Professional. You can now run it on Windows 10 Professional and manually start up the Windows Defender Application Guard if it's installed as an optional Windows component. So just go into Windows Components, install Windows Defender Application Guard as an optional component, and you'll see a new menu available on Microsoft Edge to open up a Windows Defender Application Guard window. Some new functionality that we're adding in the Windows 10 October update is the ability to add protection for untrusted PDF files. And I'd rather show you than talk about it, so I'm going to dive into a demo in just a moment. But you now have the ability not only to run untrusted PDF files that have the mark of the web by default in Windows Defender Application Guard, you can also optionally choose to implement a policy so you can save those locally. And if you open up a PDF file that's untrusted, it will consistently open in Windows Defender Application Guard. So you're creating more of a walled garden for PDF files that you may not trust. And let's look at that. We're also introducing a virtual GPU. It may be hard to see here, but the virtual GPU is much, much faster than without the virtual GPU. By default, on machines that have the ability to run a virtual GPU, we are going to enable this feature. We do have a group policy so you can disable it. So it's completely in your control whether or not you enable this or disable it. And here's a complete list of the Windows Defender Application Guard policies that are currently available, and we've highlighted some of the new ones across the bottom there. You now have the ability to make sure that copy and paste works across the host to container or container to host. You can disable that if you so choose. You have the ability to enable printing. You have the ability to block the microphone and camera. You can choose to trust files, either allow, deny, or allow, but only after it's been checked by your AV provider. And it doesn't have to be Microsoft. It could be any AV provider that plugs into Windows 10. You can allow SSL cert from host is a new policy that we've enabled. You basically give it, I'll show you the policy itself, but you give it the policy key, or I'm sorry, the cert key, and it will copy the cert into the virtual environment for your virtual machine to be able to use, for Application Guard to be able to use. This is particularly useful for self-signed certificates. So if you have an environment where you have self-signed certificates, you can now copy those certs into your Application Guard environment fairly easily through this policy. All right, let's jump into demo. So again, no smoke or mirrors here, but while Brian was talking, I did enable, I did the turn on Windows Defender Application Guard in enterprise mode. So I enabled that policy. And we also have a few other policies that I've enabled. I've enabled data persistence, so I'm allowing data persistence across Windows Defender Application Guard sessions. I'm also allowing files to download and save locally to the host operating system. And I'm allowing users to trust files optionally that open in Windows Defender Application Guard, but only after an AV check. Let's see how this actually works in practice. So I'm now running Microsoft Edge natively. It's running on my machine natively. If I go to a site, let's do a search, download PDF form. And I'm going to click on this link. It starts up Windows Defender Application Guard and opens up my PDF file. And this is fairly fast. This is reasonably fast for, especially considering it's a virtualized layer at this point. You notice the icon up in the corner. We've made this a little bit smaller. We still wanted to have an icon so your users and you will know if you're running an Application Guard, but we've made it a little more subtle. Now, from here, I do have the ability to start filling this out. I can start saying my name's Fred Pullen and so on and so forth. I do have the ability to even save it. So I can choose here, I'm going to say PDF file. Now I can close Microsoft Edge, open up my trusted sites, my untrusted files, and I see that I've got this natively on my machine. I've now copied the PDF file through Windows Defender Application Guard, and it's running on my machine. If I double-click it, though, it's got the mark of the web. It knows it's an untrusted file. If I double-click that, it opens it right back up in Microsoft Edge in Application Guard, right where I left off. So we're creating effectively a walled garden for you to say, there may be some local sites. If you have local PDF files that you trust that are signed by your organization, or you've chosen to trust any of the PDF files from a particular SharePoint or particular domain, you absolutely can configure it that way. For untrusted PDF files that you're getting from the internet at large, you've created a walled garden around those, and you're only running those in your virtual environment. Now, one of the first questions I had as an IT pro was, okay, but isn't it going to kill my performance on my machine? And if I pull this up, Windows Defender Application Guard is actually, let's look over here. Right now it's running and using 53 megabytes. Yeah, so it's using 53 megabytes. Because we're not creating an entire new virtual environment, we don't need to replicate the operating system. We don't need to replicate the entire browser, frankly. We need to simply copy any changes that need to take place and then certain DLs into that environment. So it's a relatively small virtual environment that's very lightweight, and when I close it out, I get those resources back. So this is something that's been really of a lot of interest to many customers. There are thousands of customers who are testing this now. The other policy I wanted to show you, because there is a gotcha here, and the gotcha is configuring what sites open where. If I go up into, it's under network isolation. These are the policies that control how and when Windows Defender Application Guard opens up. Now, as a best practice, I would add my private network range for applications. So as a best practice, if I don't want any of my intranet sites to open in Application Guard, I can simply add my RFC 1918 addresses, my 10.xxx or my 192.168 addresses, whatever I use in my organization, I can add those here as exceptions. I can also add domain names or host names, but this is where it gets a little trickier, and I wanted to show you this because there is a gotcha here. This doesn't use regex type expressions. What I have to do is double dot. Let me zoom in on this one for you. What I have to do here is .bing.com and then a pipe and then and the dot is what gives it a wildcard. Anything associated, any subnet associated with Bing.com, any subnet associated with Microsoft.com is going to be treated as a safe site that I can open natively in my host. Otherwise, if it's any other site, I'm going to be pushed right out into Windows Defender Application Guard. Okay, we are working on updating the documentation, but I have to say the documentation here is not entirely clear. So it's something I absolutely wanted to make you aware of. Now there's one last thing, and I can close this out, but I'm going to switch back to the slides because we do have an announcement to make. You are the first audience in the world to hear that we are introducing a Windows Defender Application Guard extension for Google Chrome. We want to meet you where you live. So the idea here is if you're running Chrome, you can enable a Windows Defender Application Guard window either automatically or on demand. So I'll show you, let's bring up Chrome, which I do have installed. All right, right now, Microsoft.com is a trusted site, so it let this go through. If I bring up anything else, let's bring up LinkedIn. Oh, I'm sorry, hang on. No, that is, oh, sorry. All right, I'll pull it up again just so you know there's no smoke and mirrors here. It's not demoware. All right, it evaluates whether it's safe. It's safe. It runs it natively within Google Chrome. And now if I go to any other site, it's opening in Microsoft Edge in Application Guard. So you can choose what runs in Chrome and what doesn't run in Chrome, what runs in this virtualized layer. This functionality is not yet available, but it'll be available in the coming weeks. So stay tuned. We will have Windows Defender Application Guard extension for Google Chrome available in the Chrome store, hopefully soon. And this will be something that you can configure and choose to use with, or not within your organization. All right, tips and tricks. I mentioned before that Brian and I are both IT pros. And, I've only been on the engineering team less than a year back on the browser. But there are some bugs that come across our desks periodically that really make me take a step back and say, wait a minute, I don't think this is actually a browser bug. One of those bugs that came across my desk in the last couple of months was associated with WebDAV. I don't know how many of you are familiar with WebDAV. It's a relatively older technology. It basically turns a web server into a file server. So it can turn a web server into a file server. Now, the good news from Microsoft Edge's standpoint is we have that functionality built into Windows 10. There is a WebDAV client in the Windows File Explorer. So when I looked at this and started looking under the hood, I realized there isn't a reason why Microsoft Edge, the browser, needs to do work to configure WebDAV support. It's built into the operating system, and it's at a lower level. But we may be misconfiguring the browser to get WebDAV support. So let me show you how you might troubleshoot. And this could be WebDAV, it could be authentication for your sites, it could be whatever problems you run into for Microsoft Edge. I'm using WebDAV as an example. But let's switch back over to see if it works this time. Okay, good. All right, so actually I do need to disable my Windows Defender Application Guard because otherwise this demo won't work. Everything will open in Windows Defender Application Guard unless I turn it off right now. So let me do that really fast. Windows Components, Windows Defender Application Guard, here we go. All right. Okay, and then I'm going to switch over again. Here it is. By the way, I should mention there is another gotcha. There's another gotcha that you may occasionally run into, and that's that sometimes you may choose to enable a policy, and enabling a policy pushes a reg key. That's essentially what a policy does. If you then go from enabling the policy to just simply not disabling the policy, but simply turning it off, that reg key may be persistent. So if you ever run into an issue, and this is universally true, not just specific to Microsoft Edge, but if you ever run into an issue where you've tested a group policy, it hasn't really worked for you, you then choose to disable it or not configure it, but you're still exhibiting that behavior, it may be because the reg key is still out there. So what you may have to do is disable the reg key or choose disable on the group policy, push the disable policy out to actually turn off the reg key, and then you can set it to not configured. Okay, but in this case, we should be fine, and I'm going to pull up, this is a third-party website. This is, yep, and it worked. All right, so this is a third-party website. It's not endorsed by Microsoft in any way, but I did get permission to use it during this demo. This is an example of a WebDAV server. So it was a very easy way for me to take this and be able to configure it. Now, if I copy this into a window here, into a file manager, I can see my files. And there are many organizations that use WebDAV today to be able to configure their home, their home directory or so on. Now, the problem that we run into, and I'm showing this as an example, again, this could be anything, but if I open up this PDF file, it says, can't reach this page. There's a problem. Microsoft Edge can't open this PDF file. And this is what drove the bug of, why can't you handle it WebDAV? Why can't you handle PDF files? Well, let's start troubleshooting this, and this is where it gets really interesting, I think. If I pull up the task manager, and I look at Microsoft Edge, and I see can't reach this page, 6964. Okay? Now let's pull up the sysinternals Process Explorer. I thought I clicked it. Let's see. I may have to actually go out and find it. That's okay. All right, so sysinternals Process Explorer, I have download. Oh, there it is. It just took a while. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is find my, and I'm running it twice now. All right, what I'm going to do here then is go from my task manager. Can't reach this page. The process ID is 6964. Now, notice here it says that I'm running a bunch of app containers, and if I scroll down here, I see that all of these Microsoft Edge containers, these are content processes, are all running with an app container. This is where it gets tricky, though, because there's two kinds of app containers that Microsoft Edge uses. We use what's called a most restrictive app container for the public internet. We also use what's called an intranet app container that has a different set of privileges. Microsoft Edge does honor the intranet settings from IE11. And this may be news to you, but so does Chrome. Every modern browser out there needs a way to be able to say, these are the great unwashed sites that I cannot trust. I have not vetted them. I have not tested them. I don't want to be able to share my credentials with these sites. And there's another set of sites that I do want to be able to share my credentials with, that I have vetted, that I have tested, that I know are safe. And so Microsoft Edge will use the intranet sites that you've chosen to configure. And that's why there's two different kinds of app containers. Now, if I pull this one up, I'm going to look at my process ID here. It was, which one was it? 6964, thanks. All right, so if I pull this up, I see I have internet connection, but I'm not seeing more than that. I'm not seeing that I have access to my Windows authentication. So clearly there's a problem. Now the way around this problem is I can pull up Internet Explorer. I can then pull up Internet options, security, local intranet, sites, advanced, and I can add, the site is ajaxbrowser.com. So what I could do is http ajaxbrowser.com. Anybody see a problem with that? All right, this is another gotcha. Because if I actually look at the error, it says, make sure you've got the right web address, file ajaxbrowser.com. It's using the file protocol here. It's not using HTTP. It's not using HTTPS. So within Internet Explorer, and I did this myself. Sorry, I did this myself for years as an IT pro. You just get used to copying in HTTP or HTTPS into your trusted sites. Well, I have a couple options here. What I could do is I could say file ajaxbrowser.com, or I could just say ajaxbrowser.com and add it like that. Because that includes every protocol. I'm now choosing to trust this site with every protocol. File protocol, HTTP protocol, doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and close this out. Click OK, click OK. Now, I don't even think I need to close the browser, actually. Let's just try it. I'm going to browse. I'm going to go out to my File Explorer now. Remember, we're running WebDAV. It's running just fine. I double-click on the file, and it actually opens this time. And I can show you why it's opening, too. Because if I go back to my Process Explorer, and I look for product.pdf 8296, now let's bounce over here, 8296, and we open up that one. And this is the Security tab. Notice I now have my Windows credentials. So let's do that. I now have my Windows credentials. This is running in the intranet app container. The number one problem I've seen come across our desks in the last few months with Microsoft Edge configuration is that you're trying to run a site that needs intranet permissions, but it's actually running in an internet or MRAC app container. So this tool can help you troubleshoot, why isn't my site opening in Edge? Why isn't my content opening in Edge? Probably not opening in Edge because it needs to be set and configured properly within the intranet zone. Now there's one last gotcha I wanted to show you because it was kind of fun. And frankly, I think it's a bug, but I don't know if we'll ever fix it, so I wanted to make sure you knew of this one. There are many WebDAV servers out there that use SSL, but the catch is, they use the fully qualified domain name @SSL in the title. So if I go back to Internet Explorer, and I go into Internet Options, security, local intranet, sites, advanced. All right, let's say we have ajaxbrowser.com @SSL. Because we've added SSL to the connection, this is how WebDAV servers have handled this for years. I can say add. Oh, it looks like it worked. I typed it wrong, but that's okay. It'll still work for the purpose of this demo. Now if I pull up my registry editor, though, notice that it added an entry that just says SSL. And in fact, I can see that myself. If I just simply click close here and OK, I think we're good to go. I think I added it properly. But now if I go back, it just added a site called SSL. Because this interface to the registry doesn't understand what @SSL means. It just strips everything else off. Now, the kludgy workaround that I wanted to make this audience aware of is you can fix this. It's a relatively easy fix. But it means going into the registry editor and literally just saying rename and saying ajaxbrowser.com @SSL. So this will fix that problem. So that's why I say often if something seems to work, and maybe it works in other browsers, maybe it works in other environments, maybe it works in Windows, you're having a problem with Microsoft Edge, reach out to us. Use your support channels. There may be just a catch, like maybe you're specifying HTTP and you need to add file protocol. Or maybe it's not showing up as a trusted site, or as an intranet site, rather. But yeah, there are always options. And the good news was we were able to close those bugs out, although we do want to, I'd love to eventually fix Internet Explorer 11. But the fact is, most of these are configuration issues. All right, let's take some questions. We do have about 10 minutes left for questions. And like I said, Brian and I are happy to stay afterwards. This is being streamed and recorded. So please, if you don't mind, go to one of the microphones. And we're happy to answer anything you got.
Hi, Brian and Fred.
Hi.
Hey. So a question about the Chrome add-in, which is a very interesting endeavor. So does that honor the inbox group policy settings as well in the same way that Edge would?
Yes, the Windows Defender Application Guard extension for Google Chrome does honor the same policies. and the same network isolation policies that Microsoft Edge would. Yes?
Great, so I configure it once, I get it 2 for the price of 1.
2 for the price of 1, absolutely. Thank you.
Internet Explorer 11 doesn't appear to be refreshing the enterprise mode site list file until about a minute after you started the browser. Are you going to be addressing that?
Yeah, the question is, right now the Internet Explorer 11 does not try to refresh the enterprise mode site list until 65 seconds after you start Internet Explorer 11. When I worked on the marketing side, we had feedback from customers who said, and bear with me, but they said that they needed that delay so that it could dial up the connection. So literally, they wanted 65-second delay so that it either through modem or through VPN or through whatever means that Internet Explorer was forcing that network connection to the corporate site and then downloading the enterprise mode site list. Right now, it's not configurable, but if this is something that you're seeing that it's a problem for your organization, please let us know. Now, there is a workaround that I'll tell you. The workaround is to simply delete the version registry key. I've written a script, and I'm happy to share it with you. When I do my own testing, I'll often just run the script, which deletes the version registry key and HKey current user. And if you delete the version registry key, as soon as you start Internet Explorer, if it sees that there's not if there's no version at all, it will immediately reach out and try to pull that file down. So it doesn't have a 65-second delay.
Okay, that's good to know, because yeah, we're seeing an issue where we're using Edge as the default browser. Every now and then a website pops up or an internal app pops up that has to be handled in IE. We add it to enterprise mode. Edge sends it to IE. IE sends it straight back to Edge.
Because Internet Explorer hasn't yet been updated with the policy. That's an interesting problem. So yeah, I think we should talk with the IE team about maybe making that configurable. Okay.
That would be nice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes?
This question just something that wasn't touched on. Best practice for the favorite bar and favorites, so that users have their favorites, they log into another machine, they have everything. What's the best practice?
We have a couple of tools available. Obviously, Internet Explorer uses favorites, and they're just links. They're just file links that you can store hierarchically in folders. It's much easier to manage Internet Explorer favorites. For Microsoft Edge, we store favorites in a small database. Because we wanted more metadata associated with the favorites, we think we can have a better experience associated with history and associated with favorites. So you do have the ability to synchronize the two. And from talking with many customers, having the ability to manage your Internet Explorer favorites, like you do today, and having the ability to synchronize them with Edge effectively gives you Edge management of favorites. You have the ability, obviously, to push out favorites within Edge, but you also want to keep them in sync. So I would suggest looking into that synchronization policy, because then if you have a favorites toolbar, as I did earlier, if you dive into Internet Explorer, you should see the same favorites populate themselves. That's a good question. Let's go back here and just work our way back. Yes?
Hello. Can I configure the Windows Defender Application Guard through Intune?
Can you configure Windows Defender Application Guard through Intune? I believe the answer is yes.
Yeah, you can definitely, yeah.
With all the policies include the network isolation policy? The network isolation it's the GPO. I haven't seen this in the Intune policies.
I don't know the answer to that, but I can find out. Yeah, okay, you can make a custom RI.
Yeah, there's not a dedicated UI for that one.
Okay.
Network isolation policies, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yes?
When it comes to Edge obeying the site-to-zone assignment list, in Internet Explorer 11, on a web page, I can quickly see if I right-click properties, what zone IE11 rendered that page in. How can I do the same thing with Edge?
Edge only has, that's a good point. So Edge only has one document mode, but it does have two zones. And we're asking, that is a good feedback for us to come out with a tool that makes it easier than diving into Process Explorer.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll definitely take that one back to Redmond. Yes, sir.
Hi. We're currently running SharePoint 2010 with Internet Explorer. Most of our users use the Open and Explore feature. which Edge doesn't support or doesn't support in 2010 SharePoint. Does the new version of SharePoint or does Edge have a way to do that soon or currently?
Edge does not support Open and Explorer currently, but that is something that we're working with the SharePoint team on. That is the number one feedback I get from SharePoint customers, is that they're frustrated that Open and Explorer doesn't work. I think we can fix the problem if we can figure out how to manage the zones and how to, I think we can fix the problem, but it's not in the October update.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have time for just a couple more questions, but we will stay as long as it takes. So, yes, sir. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It keeps making all numbers on the pages hyperlinks. Is there any way to get rid of that?
There may be an extension that you're using that is, the question is if numbers on the page are showing up as hyperlinks.
So you're talking about phone numbers, correct?
Yeah, it thinks that they are phone numbers. They can be software version numbers or whatever.
Yeah.
It may be your communications solution that's adding that. In other words, I know that in Internet Explorer it was Link. Link had a BHO so that every number showed up as a phone number and I could click on it and it would take me out to Link.
Yeah, but it could be, at least I haven't found a way to disable that for Edge. It can be
Okay.
disabled.
Yeah, I haven't.
Internet Explorer.
If you have time to swing by,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you have time to swing by on Thursday for our open office hours, show us the behavior and we can help troubleshoot right then. All right, one last question. Yes, sir.
I was going to ask about Windows Defender Application Guard.
Please.
I know at previous Ignite, like last year, they were saying that the initial startup was like 5 minutes or something like that. Is it still the case, or?
No. Yeah, the short answer is no. The initial startup, and I did that a few minutes ago before I did the demo, but it took about 5 seconds.
Well,
It takes just a few seconds to do the initial startup of the VM, and then after that, starting it is under a second or so.
yeah, I was asking because it was like, at the previous session I saw, it was the very first time you started it, it was excessive.
Yeah, so in RS4, RS4, we
RS4.
made significant progress in that and reduced the performance a lot.
In the spring update, yeah, we did improve performance, and we've continued to improve it in the October update. So yeah, it's not, it's sub, 10 seconds or 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's much better.
Very reasonable.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so as I said before, we have a number of different sessions at Microsoft Ignite. We are, and I'll make one more plug for this, we have open office hours Thursday from 3 to 4 in the Hyatt in room Discovery 46. So if you do have additional questions, there's going to be more engineers in the room who can help answer your questions. We have some folks from the PDF team who are there. So if you have any PDF questions in particular or extensions questions, I think it would be a great opportunity for you. Additional resources just for the slide, and you can download this slide deck and get direct links, but everything we've talked about should be available publicly now, except for the Windows Defender Application Guard extension for Google Chrome, which will be coming in the next few weeks or maybe a couple of months. All right, thank you very much for your time. Have a great Ignite. Thank you.